Um, I don't know. I mean, that's from the perception of someone else. I don't think of myself as influential. You know, if people see or hear what I do and it inspires them, then that's fantastic. But I'm not doing it for that purpose. You know, I'm not doing it to try to be inspirational. You know, in that way. I hope people are getting inspiration. It's very flattering if someone says, "Oh, you know, you inspire my drumming." I'm very happy with that. But that's not my goal. You know, that's from their perspective. You know, it's a weird thing to even think about. Well, everyone works a bit different. You know, me and Rick work differently together. Porcupine Tree works different together. OSI is a different thing altogether. You know, every band has got a method. You know, probably the stuff I do with Rick is the purest way that I would do things, and in fact it's just two people. You know, in Porcupine Tree there's four of us, so it becomes more kind of compound and complicated the more people you add into the chain. And because some people like to work on their own, some people like to go to a studio for 2 weeks and work like that. Some people like to do a little bit on one day, a little bit the following week, little tiny chunks here and there. And, you know, you have to adapt to the way people want to work. We actually met on MySpace, and here's the weird thing. This was back in about 2006, 2007. You know, you used to get friend requests, right? And then you could approve them or not. And I saw a picture of a drummer who had long curly hair all over his face, and I thought it was Chris Maitland, who at that time I'd never met. I'd seen him play, I knew what he looked like, and I thought, oh, who's this? And I clicked on the picture, I thought it was like Chris Maitland, clicked on it, and then when I got there, obviously it wasn't Chris Maitland, and I listened to this guy's music, because that's, you know, mostly was happening on MySpace. People were putting up tracks. I thought, wow, this is really, really good stuff. I'd never heard anything like it. Really interesting. And then I looked down the comments and I saw a few other friends of mine. I thought, well, maybe I'm a bit late to this party. So I sent him a message and said, I really like your tracks. And he said, actually, I know that you're playing in Cambridge pretty soon with Porcupine Tree. I'd like to meet you. So I met up with him, you know, and he sent me some tracks and we started. I played on one of his songs, and then he said, you know, if you ever have any kind of rhythmic ideas that you wanted to turn into songs, I thought, yeah, I have, a lot. So that's kind of how it started. Well, it hasn't really. I mean, this, of course, you know, is the first time we've ever gone on tour, and that is something. I mean, a couple of years ago, Rick said we should play live, and I said, there's no way we could play this stuff live. It's miles too hard. No way are we ever going to get on stage and play this stuff. And yet here we are. And he said, oh, I've got some friends in Cambridge, really good bass player and guitarist. And I was always very sceptical because I thought, this is way too hard to put together as a band. And they live near Rick, and they work with Rick, because Rick's a drummer. And they were going around his house 3 times a week and trying to see if they could really play these songs. Rick wasn't sure he could actually sing and play the guitar. You know, he's never gone on stage as a singer-guitarist before. He's always been on stage as a drummer. So he said, look, I've done 4 or 5 rehearsals with these guys from Cambridge, sounding really good. We should come down to your place and try and play it. And I said, okay, let's try it. And I was surprised. So I suppose, you know, organising the way that we rehearse and organising the way that we can spend the small amounts of time that we had, because they can't just kind of come down from Cambridge every single day. It's a bit of a drive. And it became, I suppose, an organisational role in that I could work on the way that we could play it live.